And I think we're live with
Rachel.
And today we're going to be going. I should have put her on the spot like that. Today we're going to be going through the Reinin traits, and interestingly enough, he spells his name on Facebook Reyin, and that's why I've spelt it thus. So we're going to go through this test on this website, and people should be able to see the name of the website. Can you see that, Rachel?
Looks like Zilkin.com.
Yeah, Zilkin. Yep. Zilkin.com/socio/English. So here we go. So we'll go through these and see which type it thinks you are. What it suggests up here is that you pick 3 or 4 traits that match you absolutely bang on.
Okay.
And then we'll see what you get. And what happens is, so for instance, say you picked introverts, suddenly all the extroverts die in this list.
Oh, that's really cool.
They get grayed out.
Nice.
So that's very interesting. And of course, I'll let the viewers know which type is which towards the end. Of course, they might want to guess, although they could guess them as well. They could use their brain power to work out which of these Russian names is which types based on the dichotomies chosen.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, like I said, once you've picked introvert, then all the extroverts are eliminated. So you know that these ones are introverts. Anyway, so for instance, we'll go through each one of these, and you can let me know if you want to choose it or not choose it. So what do you think for introvert and extrovert?
Let's see. Uses imagination and reflection rather than manipulates real objects. Focuses on relations between self and the outer world. Or manipulates real objects, feelings, emotions, and sensations rather than delves into a world of imagination. Focuses on the outer world and relations between its objects. Well, if I'm trying to be objective about this, I can't say I really have a strong opinion one way or the other.
Right.
With that.
Right, we'll give a pass on that one.
Okay.
So what do you think for the next one? Logical, ethical.
Better perceives real objects and their relations, general principles, and trends. Sees the world through the prism of rules and logical connections. Better perceives feelings, emotions, and concerns, as well as interpersonal relationships. I would say ethical.
Right, there we go. Right, so that means we've just killed off all the logical types.
Okay.
Right, so, right. So, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, go to the next one then?
Yeah, if we do intuitive sensing, but if you are SEI, this is where certain types can get picked up on certain question like this. So, for instance, because SEI is, so ISFJ is hot for ideas and things, they might select intuiting because they like the ideas so much. So we'll see how you go on with this one. Intuitive sensor.
Okay. Better perceives non-material side of the world, ideas, concepts, and the like. Quickly absorbs new information, but because of poor digestion, doesn't keep it in memory for too long. Better perceives material side of the world, taste, color, and the like. Slowly absorbs new information, but thanks to good digestion, keeps it in memory for a long time. I think I do relate more to the sensing because it takes me longer to ingrain something.
Okay. Are you bang on for that one?
Oh, I guess more. It's more clear than introvert extrovert was, but I'm not as confident about it as I was with the ethical.
Right. Okay. I think what we can. I'll make a note of that. We can sort of come back to that later on.
Okay.
So this is like because we want to pick 3 or 4 that are absolutely super confident of. So And like I said, with this intuiting sensing one, my personal opinion is you are sensing one, but because you've got suggestive NE, you are interested in ideas and things. So, so this one might be interesting. That might be a bit. What do you think about static and dynamic?
I've always had a hard time with those. I don't feel like I can be objective enough to answer that.
What I'll say to the audience about this is static dynamic seems to be noticeable in speech and writing. If you know somebody who knows a lot of languages, and they have the linguistic ability to say, oh, this person's static because they keep pausing and like putting conditions in brackets and stuff, where it's always like pause to like do a side issue and then come back, whereas dynamic is much more straight on. And so Helena can see it in writing. She can see when someone is like a static style, and I would think you'd have to look at casual, because a lot of times a dynamic writing style is better than a static writing style. And so if you look at, so once this dichotomy has been mastered by people, they could like look at people's Facebook posts to see if it's static or dynamic.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But just trying to get them to tell me how it works. So I asked Alina, how do you tell static? What does it look like? And she says mental pauses. Well, I need more than that. I need to know how to. I need the rule. I need the secrets of how to tell. Okay. What about positive, negative?
See, so it's present rather than what's absent. All notices the positives, whether it's good, the sky is clear. Sees what's absent rather than what's present. First of all, notices the negatives, the weather is not bad, and then a cloud in the sky. That's a tough one.
That's a pass one. That's a pass.
Yeah.
It's a good job. There's about 15 dichotomies, so
good.
We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Asking and declaring.
Okay. Typically speaks in questions, prefers dialogues to monologues, tends to use short remarks because he or she is more interested in hearing the other person than self-expression. Typically speaks in statements, prefers monologues to dialogues, tends to make detailed speeches because he or she is more interested in self-expression than hearing the other person. I think asking I lean more to.
Yeah. I mean, I've not noticed you be someone to go on and on and on and not let the other person speak. You are pretty. Let's see. Okay, but are you certain of that one?
I feel pretty confident about that one.
Okay. Right.
So now, how many do we have? Is that only 4 left?
Oh. What? What is he? Is Dumas been killed? Oh, we've killed Dumas! Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
Okay. Okay. If we forget we clicked that one. You could have just been well brought up. That's true though. I mean, that is one of these things, asking and declaring, where the way someone's brought up in their culture can very much influence, or their Enneagram, or just their general confidence level. Just somebody who is more confident and has more to declare about will be more declaring. So, for instance, in this, I think INTPs are asking. But if you've got an INTP that's been really successful, they might do more declaring. Right. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So if I will write down that you well, this is the thing about the Reinin traits, is they're not 100% brilliant, but there is good stuff in there. Right, tactical and strategic.
Tends to make local decisions based on the current state of things, cares more about the path, which is the order of steps and actions, and it's easier to change the goal than the chosen tactics. Tends to make global decisions based on the future. cares more about the goal and the desired state of things, finds it easier to set a goal than to decide on the next step. I would say strategic, I think. I don't like to change my goals.
Okay. Okay, here we go. So you're pretty sure for this one?
I think.
No. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, GMAS is still alive. GMAS is still alive. Right then. So here's an interesting one. Constructive, emotive. Oh, and interestingly enough, GMAS and Dostoevsky, so ISFJ and INFP are alive, as well as ENFJ and ESFP.
Oh.
Ooh. Very interesting.
Wow. All right. Constructive first perceives the meaning, then the emotional implication. It's not typical of him or her to adjust to the other person's mood. First perceives the emotional implication, then the meaning. It's typical of him to adjust to the other person's mood. I think emotive.
Right, okay, here we go. See what happens. Yes! GMAS. So now you're between GMAS and ESFP.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dear. Then we've got what? Dyadic traits. Oh, dear. I wonder if that's a dynamic thing, because if I just unselect that, let me just see if the other ones are static types. No, Hamlet's a dynamic type. Dostoevsky, that would be a static type. But even though emotive, oh, okay, GMAS. So we've got strategic, emotive, and ethical. We've got GMAS and Napoleon. Right, what have we got here? And that might be a thing there. Adjusts to the other person's mood. But I'm sure. Interesting. Right. Okay, what about this? Rational, irrational.
First assesses the incoming information, then comes up with a response to the situation using his or her experience. Takes in the incoming information directly without assessing it or relating it to his or her experience. I think, oh gosh. I think at first I try to take in information without like any bias. But then I'll think about my past experience after that, so I don't really know. I mean, I know what the type we think I am is, but I'm trying to be objective about it again, so.
Right. So you would lean towards irrational.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, I'll write that down as a lean. Right, just that. Right, here's a good one. I like processing results because that's the one where you get the left types and the right types. So that's big in Viktor's system, with all those charges. So
I think that would be process.
Right. Yes. Right. Okay, that's good. Right, and you're pretty confident of that?
I think so, because I have a hard time when I'm interrupted in my thought process or something that I'm doing, and I have to switch gears. I don't like having to do that.
Right, here we go. Right, so it looks both Napoleon and Dumas are process oriented.
Oh, good.
Although this is where we can say, this is where, wait a minute. Somebody with a different angle would say, wait a minute. Focuses on a process, finds it hard to tune in and tune out. It's typical for him to do the work from beginning to the end without switching to something else. Okay. Someone would say, wait a minute. Napoleon is ESFP.
Mm-hmm.
ESFPs and ISFJs are going to approach work very differently. ISFJs are going to be more linear. They'll go through the steps because they're guardians. ESFP is going to want to improvise and change things up. Either that or Jeff's lying. And I don't think Jeff's lying about that. Where he gives...
I don't think he would know about that.
Yeah. Where he gives all these instances where he wants to change things up to make it more interesting. So...
well, he's still the one who's in control of the situation. I guess I'm thinking about not liking when I'm trying to focus on something and then there's like other things like, oh, you know, the phone is ringing, there's somebody at the door, the kids want this or that, and it's like I'm trying to focus on this goal, you know.
I think something the viewers might want to know is that I've been at the moment I'm researching and Rachel will know about this because I shared some information with her about the hormonal temperaments and the fact that the Reinin traits are these are the results of the Jungian cognitive functions. But if you've got something else affecting someone's character, someone's personality besides cognitive processes, but you've got hormones that can affect someone. I mean, if someone says, "Oh, chemicals do affect someone's personality," just shoot someone up with some drugs and see how it changes them.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
Or hormones, where say, the effect of hormones on so what you can have is the dopamine in an artisan is they love a challenge because the challenge increases dopamine, and so that's their best asset. But anyhow, so if people, so we're not necessarily, we are testing Rachel, but we're also testing the Reinin dichotomies as well to see where they're useful. And so far it's pretty good. Right, Jumas is still alive. Right, right, okay. And I do like how he's put at the top, only pick 3 or 4 that you're absolutely sure of. What about yielding and obstinate? Any strong feelings on that?
I think more yielding.
Right. Let's see what happens. Yes!
Oh, wow. That's got it.
Right, but let's see if some other ones. Let's see if some other ones will. But if we go, okay, here we go. It was some more. Because as soon as the wrong one is picked, Jumas will die as well.
Yeah.
So the right ones have to be picked. if ones that we show off though. This has all been done without selecting. I don't think we selected. We didn't do intuitive or sensor. We didn't make a decision there, but we chose an ethical, strategic, emotive, process, and yielding. Right. Okay. Here we go. Oh yeah, carefree and far-sighted.
So one can't foresee everything, only uses information that's currently central, overlooking previous experience. I don't know if I can make a decision on those two because I don't think that you can foresee everything, but at the same time, if I do have some experience that applies to the situation, I would try and use it. So I don't really agree with either one of them entirely.
Are you definitely not carefree though?
I don't feel like either one of them is super bad, but
okay. But we can select. But we can select how we can see what happens if we had to make a decision and see what would happen. Oh, that would have killed Jumas. Okay, we'll unselect that one. But you weren't firm on that one anyway. Right. So reasonable and decisive.
Reasonable.
Okay. Oh, Dumas is still alive. Right, interesting. So the ones that you're sure of. your your type's role model is on the line. Right, we got subjective and objective.
Considering someone else's opinion places major importance on this person's reputation, relies on his or her own subjective worldview. Considering someone else's opinion compares it with the real facts, believes in objective laws being true, independent of subjective opinions. Not sure. Maybe more subjective?
Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, Dumas is still alive.
Wow.
And then we've got aristocratic, democratic.
Sees people as members of a group, hierarchy, or social network rather than individuals. Sees people as individuals rather than members of a group, hierarchy, or social network. I think democratic.
Yay! Dumas is still alive.
Wow. I'm impressed.
But there are also some dichotomies which are like. But, so, like I said, I love how it's stated right at the start. So only pick the ones you're absolutely sure of. So, right now, what I can do is I can actually show you what all the answers would have been for GMAS. So what I can do is I unselect them all, unselect all traits, and then what I do is I click here on Alexander Dumas, and then it shows you all of the answers for Dumas. So, because those first four will be based off the letters, really. Right. Negative. There's a lot. Victor would say, and this is where Victor gets the plus and minus from for the first function. So he would say S minus and R plus. Did that just? Oh yeah, negatives in that. Declaring. Now that's the one that is probably. That's one that can change. I think that one can change.
I'm very curious. I think that's probably because of the NE suggestive. So
Yeah.
what I was thinking of is like wanting to hear what other people are thinking about things and that sort of thing. That's really interesting, though.
So we could hone in on that one, asking, declaring. Yeah, you see, that asking, declaring thing, I think that is something that can be determined a lot by not just someone's functions, but just someone's how they see themselves in life. Like I said, if someone's more generally confident of themselves and confident of what they're going to say, and if they're in an environment where they're pretty sure of what they know, and the people they tend to encounter and they know that they don't, and they aren't as knowledgeable, or then they might be in a declaring mode. It sort of depends on their environment, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, generally, you can say that anyone who is declaring is going to be pretty confident, or they'll be like an insecure person that's overcompensating.
Mm.
But the actual act itself, right. So like I said, I mean, not all of the Reinin traits. Right, strategic, right, emotivist, it's irrational. Yeah, you lent towards irrational, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you. Right, process yielding. Oh, carefree. There's another one that's odd. But you
I
see,
was
that might
leaning
have been.
towards that one too, though. I
Mm.
think because I don't. The other one says prefers to use previous experience even if it's not relevant to the current situation. I don't really relate to that.
Right. But again, that's also something else that could be changed by temperament, where and just natural circumstances of being a parent, you're going to be in a mode of thinking ahead and being responsible.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, we've got here. I can't remember. Did you pick reasonable? I don't know if you picked reasonable or decisive. I can't remember.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I remember you said you leant towards subjective and then democratic. So there was only a couple of them that were peculiar, I suppose.
Just the one, I think. The asking versus declaring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
Nice.
nice. GMAS. Oh, and we can also have a look at what the other ones of the. Let's see what the other types would have picked. The types that you used to think you were, or
Okay.
identified with, rather. Okay. Unselectable traits. Right. So let's see what INFP would have picked. So these are their choices. Okay. Well, those first four are pretty
So they're
obvious.
intuitive and static, positive.
Yeah, I'll just put it back. Right. Let me know when you want me to move up.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Thanks.
Right, let's do positive. Right. Right, see, they're declaring as well.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I can understand them being declaring INFP because they want to state their own opinions. But again, if you go into the real world and then you actually look at the type, it's in the actual behavior. INFPs are the best type at listening, but they might become declaring once one of their values comes up. Then they would be declaring, but a lot of the time they are the best type at listening until they make a judgment about something. Then they stop listening. So, constructive, rational. Aristocratic.
Interesting.
But you see, a lot of them might not admit to that. So when I go through this with some INFPs, they'll probably be selecting Democratic.
Mm.
You know, I can't shine a light in their eye and say, "Are you telling the truth?" Right. Okay. So. Right, I think that might be it. What do you think, Rachel? Do you think that's them done? There we go.
That makes it a lot clearer of a choice.
Right, here we go then. And we're going to end. Bye, folks.